Good morning, everybody! It's 9:30 and it's already 80 degrees here in Memphis. And I'm just taking a walk in my neighborhood. And I've done a lot of these episodes in my, creative den, and I thought I might change up the scenery a little bit for this episode. So I'm just gonna walk around, so we're gonna walk and talk, and welcome back to The Creative Quest. So we just finished up this series about inspiration. We're moving into another topic, and this time it's all about the grind. It's all about what it takes to really accomplish and build a creative lifestyle. And I'm in the middle of that right now. If you've seen another episode of mine, the very first episode of this vlog series was about being discouraged and kind of starting over and starting fresh. That's pretty much what I'm in the middle of right now. I have to tell you that the hustle is real. So speaking of the word hustle, what exactly does that mean? Well, if you look at the real definition of it, ooh, there's a big spider. If you look at the real definition of hustle, it is to work like rapidly with a lot of energy. But if you think about what hustle means in the context of ambition, to hustle means having the self-determination, having the self-belief and the drive to go out and work things out until you accomplish what you want out of life. That's exactly the kind of hustle that I think is required in this case. If you're wanting to build any sort of creative career, there are some challenges. Like the hustle, when I say the hustle is real, it's like there's some challenges where there's moments where I've, definitely wanted to quit, and I've just been like, man, I'm never going to get there. It's not going to work out. I might as well just throw in a towel and just, go do something mindless and easy, and then I'm reminded that nothing good comes easy in this life, and I gotta stick with it. So there's this YouTube channel that I follow that's called Full Stack Creative, and it's by this creative agency called Indepreneur that I've been watching and keeping up with over the past year. He put out this video about, kind of the progression of a creative's career, where you kind of like start out very inspired and excited and you have a lot of passion, and that's kind of launching you onto the path of actually doing the things that you need to do to make this really happen. And then you get into this section that they call hard times, and most people quit during the hard times because they're like, this is crazy hard and I don't know if I'm going to make it, and most people will give up there. But if you can stick to it and get through the hard times and not give up, then there's another end. There's another side. The other side of the hard times is the opportunities or the success that you've been waiting for. And it just takes determination and hustle and grit and patience and consistency and guts, like to just stay in a very uncomfortable place. And I personally have been in different stages of that and different cycles of that, and it's not easy by any means. You got to know that that's like part of the process, and you got to have that self-determination. You got to have that self-confidence and that drive, and you've got to figure out how to develop that in yourself. That's the hustle I'm talking about. You're going to need that in order to get through these hard times that you're in. And every single person, every single ambitious person, everybody that wants to start a business or wants to build their life off of something kind of non-conventional is going to go through this period. Like, it's just part of the process. So there's one thing that I learned that's really, really important, and that's having like patience for yourself and patience for the process. And that's something I know I really, really struggle with, is being patient and not, beating myself up over, why I'm not at a certain point, or, when I really can't do anything about it. And, I think there's a level of, self-analysis that you should have, and being aware of where you are in the process and what you have and have not accomplished, and you know what you maybe can add or take away to like help that. But sometimes you're exactly where you need to be, and you just gotta like stay in the game. And if you stay in the game will progress naturally the way that it should. And I mean, there's a lot of these, you know, music business gurus and stuff out there, and I'm definitely not one of those people, but I do know that there's a lot of successful people that will say sacrifice sleep and sacrifice time with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you know, ditch your friends and basically become a hermit and disconnect from the rest of the world. And to an extent, there's definitely some truth in that, and I think that they are right. I don't, you know, want to say that I know any better than they do, because obviously, you know, they're at the point that they're at, you know, and I'm not there yet. But I think that, you know, you have to decide for yourself what you can sacrifice, because everybody's different. It's like, you know, for me, like, I know that if I don't get enough sleep, like, I get sick and I'm worthless and I can't do anything. And so I think that there's definitely points in time where, you know, you do have to sacrifice, you know, a little bit of, you know, sleep, or sacrifice, you know, some social time with your friends. There's definitely parts of this whole thing where you're going to have to do that, like, more than others, and you got to be willing to do that. But, you know, a repetitive, like, pattern of 3 hours, 4 hours a night, you know, if you don't have sleeping issues, can really, really, like, be hard on your body. And so the thing is like, if you're not healthy, like, you're not going to be able to give what you need to give into the process to make it grow. Like, you're not gonna have a self to give to your goals, your aspirations. And so it's important to take care of yourself. I think self-care is just, you have to start there, and you have to figure out what it is you can and cannot do. Draw boundaries, you know, and for yourself, and figure those things out, because only you can do that for yourself. No one else can tell you what you need and don't need to do. They can suggest things, but ultimately it comes down to you knowing yourself and knowing what it is that you need. So like for me, like right now I have like 3 jobs, and I mean, they're all like music related, but they're not obviously exactly what I want to be doing in the long run. But they're a part of the process. They're part of the step here. They are a step. So I'm spread out over 3 different companies, but I have like boundaries with each of these companies so that I can preserve enough energy for my own goals and aspirations with building my own life. And so again, that's just something that you have to decide for yourself. It's important to know what you can and cannot handle while you're in the grind. The only way that you learn that is by trial and error. It's like you push yourself to the limit, and sometimes you go over the limit and you're like, okay, well, I can't go that far. And the only way to learn that is by, you know, doing it. And then you just come back a little bit and start again. It's just important to get to a place where the grind isn't grinding you down, but the grind is grinding on a path for you to walk down towards the things that you want in life. And now it's time to go inside, because I am battling with the cars and they keep driving by and making extra noise. So we're gonna go back inside, because speaking of the grind, I have to go to my day job. Kitty.
So it's 6:36, I'm back home, had some lunch with Hubs, had a great conversation, and I'm back in the creative den, gonna put in some work on some new songs. By the way, next year there will be some new music coming out that I'm super excited to share on this channel. So I'm gonna get back to part of my grind. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's a little less formal than what I've been putting out lately. I just wanted to kind of kick off this new mini series. I'm gonna give you guys a little insight on what my grind looks like day to day. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed and you're enjoying the content that we've been putting out on this channel so far, go ahead and hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified every time we come out with a brand new video. And I will see you guys next week right here on The Creative Quest.